Okay, thank you all for being here today. I am Amy Stack. I am your regional tech trainer for the Mid-American region. I'll tell you a little bit about me in a second, but today we are going over how to customize your basic KW site, even if you're not tech savvy. So there are some higher level things you can do with the website. We won't be covering that today. Today will be your basic website setup to get you up and running. And stay tuned. Maybe we'll do a deep dive on some more in-depth options in the future. All right. So as I mentioned, I'm Amy Stack. I'm the regional tech trainer for the Mid-American region. So that's all of Illinois. And then we have part of Indiana and a little bit of Wisconsin as well. I've been with KW for about almost 9 years, and I've been in real estate since 2012. I am a realtor myself and an investor. I'm also a labs advisor, so I get to beta test new products and give feedback on what I think is working well or what we could kind of tweak to take it to the next level. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to shoot me a message in the chat. I can always get you the application for that as well. And on the personal side, I am a wife, I am a dog mom, and I am an auntie. So we have two nieces and three nephews, and a crazy fluff ball of a dog. That's just a bundle of fun. We don't know what he is, he's rescued. His name is Lando Barkrisian. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you will recognize that name. And that's just a little bit about me. I've been playing with the KW websites since I started at KW. I think this is my fourth website platform at this point. So I've seen all kinds of fun different things, and I am happy to answer questions if I can. Like if you had something on an old website that you wanted to do on the new website, I might still be able to help you with something like that. It just depends on what it was. All right. I mentioned before we started recording that if you want, you can follow along. I think the easiest way to do that is if you have a dual monitor situation, so that you can have me and my instructions on one screen and then your command on another screen, just because I will be demonstrating live how you can do these updates. But this is what our agenda looks like today. As I mentioned, we'll be going over our basic setup, and this will include making sure that your profile is updated. You have the option to pick themes for your website. You can customize your homepage and add there's some easy add custom pages without going into expert mode. We're going to stay out of expert mode today. I will touch base on those. There's 4 pages that you can add, and I think it's 6 clicks maybe. So we'll go over those. And then also, did you know, go ahead and put in the chat yes or no. Did you know that you can make an open house sign-in sheet right from your KW website? Let's see. Oh, I got a couple of no's. All right, so we will go over that as well. The first thing I thought I would do is show you what the website looks like. Now I'm going to give you a little heads up. I have some of those more advanced features on mine, so I will point out anything on there that is more advanced that we won't go over today, but we could potentially do in another class in the future, or you can always work with your local leadership teams and tech trainers to help you with those more advanced features as well. All right. Before we dig in too much, I'll show this, I'll pull this up a little bit later as well, but in case you're looking for more information in the future, whether you want to review something we did today or you want to dig into some of those expert mode features, I did put a couple of QR codes up here of different resources on how to edit that website. So you can scan those. I will put the links for these in the chat momentarily as well. And then I wanted to point out that we do have quick. So when I open up command, I'll point that out to you. Put in the chat 1 or 2. 1 is yes, I've heard of and used quick. 2 is no, I have not heard of it. I haven't used it. So 1 or 2. 1 is a yes, 2 is a no. Ah, a couple of 2s. Oh, lots of 2s. All right, so we'll go over that a little bit before we dig into the website. Quick is the AI that's built right into Command, and you can ask it all kinds of things, including how to do things in Command, and just things about real estate in general. It's got all of the KW books programmed right in there, and the KWU classes, so Keller Williams University class information is in there, and it can even help you create like follow-up plans for open houses. I've talked about that as far as the sign-in sheets, so that could be a nice tie-in for that as well. But give me 1 second. We'll adjust my screen here. And I'm going to grab these links that I put, this is where the QR codes go to. So I'm going to put those in the chat right now. So KW Connect, and I will show you how to find these as well. And then answers.kw.com. All right. So let's talk about those resources really quick. The one I mentioned was quick, KWUIQ. So I am in my command account. I am on the home screen, and actually it doesn't matter where on the home screen you are. As long as you're on in command, you'll see this black bar at the top. And on the right-hand side, there's a little blue button that says KWIQ with some sparkles. So that is how you can open up the AI system right inside command to ask it questions. So how do I customize my website? Let's say you didn't have me or a local leader to help you. You could just go straight to quick, or maybe it's at night and nobody's in the office right now. That'll process your question and it might ask you some clarifying questions or just give you some information right away. And here you go. It's generating step-by-step instructions for you on how you can access the website applet, which we'll go over today, and how you can start managing it. And look at that. These are all things I said I was going to cover with you today. So that's quick. Like I said, it can do all kinds of things, but that's how it applies to what we're doing today. The other thing I wanted to show you is Connect, KW Connect. There is a button at the top left-hand side of command that says Connect. And when you go in here, you have access to tons of learning opportunities that are on demand. And you can even see if there's like live stream classes coming up. So the link I put in the chat for KW Connect will actually take you here to the consumer experience. And it's got lots of little videos, little segmented sections on how you can update different things on your website. Then the last thing I put in the chat was answers.kw.com. I just simply searched the word website. You could look for something more specific if you wanted to. But if you just put in the word website in answers.kw.com, all of these results come up. And one of them right here says, get started with your KW agent site. Or there's something more specific, find and edit your agent site subdomain. So that is what is your website URL. Okay, so there's lots of resources in here for learning how to use your website. Let me click on that basic one, getting started, because this is what we're focusing on today. And you can see when I click on that to learn about the basic website, it not only gives me written instructions. All right, so we're back in answers here. So this was the article that explained what was it called? Get started with your KW site. So it has written instructions. Sometimes there's links in there, but it also has screenshots, and you can see the buttons are highlighted for what we want you to focus on to get started. This particular article has all kinds of different things you can do with your website. We'll go through a lot of this today. But if you wanted to focus on edit your homepage, you could click that link and it will take you to a different article that specifically talks about your homepage. But we'll go over this live today. So those are some of my favorite resources for you. Just wanted to make sure you were aware of them. All right, let's close out of those. And I figured we would start with what does the website look like? So this is my website. It is a sample website. I have some stuff on here purposely that's not set up how I think you would want to use it because I want to show you what happens if you don't do it the right way. But this is my home screen, and you can see I have this listing section right here. I get lots of questions about this. This listing section is really meant to feature current listings, active, on the market right now. If you're trying to feature things that are sold, it will look like it does on my screen where it's not pulling images in. Your clients could click on it to see information about the property, but the pictures will not feed in. So just know that that's not how that feature is used. I've seen a lot of people have questions about that. I just wanted to get that out of the way right at the front. But other than that, you'll see I've got this beautiful header here, these hero images. Those are already in the system for you. You can customize it and upload your own. You can customize this content right here. Mine says Real Estate Connections Made Simple. That's kind of my tagline. Okay. And I have a spot for featured testimonies on here and even an agent blog that is provided from KW. Now, I have an advanced feature on here that we won't touch on today, but I have customized my menu bar at the top. You will have this More button and this About button and the Property Search button. Everything we make today for you will show up under More. Okay? Has anybody on here never looked at their website before? Go ahead and put yes or no in the chat. Have you played with your website before as far as the back end goes? I see yes. Oh, I saw Brian. Okay, we've got a couple of, looks like we're mixed. Mostly yeses, a couple of no's. All right, well, we're going to go over from the beginning so nobody will be lost. Don't worry about that. Thank you for letting me know. I see a couple questions. Can we put our PLN listings out there and how do you add your own photo? We'll go over the photos in just a minute, Brian. And Suzanne, you can add PLN listings, but you would have to build something custom for that. Anything that's on the private network will not feed into any of the listing options in Command or Canva or the website. The MLS just doesn't give permission to do that for us, so we don't have access to that data. So to get started with your website, we want to go to Command, so agent.kw.com. If you're not already there, you can go ahead and do that. If you just want to watch, that's totally fine as well. So we're at agent.kw.com, and then we're going to go to the last applet on the left-hand side. So you see if I hover over that, it says Websites. That's where we're going to live today, right in that website applet. The very first thing you want to do before you customize anything on your website is make sure your marketing profile is updated. You want to make sure that you're putting out the right information about you to the world so they know how to get in touch with you and what type of information you want to provide to them. So at the top right, there's a settings section. We're going to go ahead and hit Manage Settings. And it's going to take us into our contact information. And then on the left, we'll see lots of other options that we can customize. So I'll talk a little bit more in depth about some of those more specialty sections in there. So manage settings, and right away we went into contact information. So you can put all of yours right at the top. That's how you want the public to see your information. And down here you can see you'll have a grayed out section that says Market Center. Only your Market Center can update those items, so don't worry that that is grayed out for you. That is going to be your brokerage information, and if something doesn't look right on there, make sure to contact your office and they will be able to help get that updated, or at least double check that everything looks right. Currently, that is going to be your main brokerage. If you are part of a business center, it is going to show the main market center information there. So that's not incorrect if the business center information is not showing. Right now, it only shows the market center information. That may change in the future, but currently that's how it is. So on the left-hand side, like I said, we can toggle between these different options here. We've got my contact information, my photo. So this is where my headshot will be. If you are on a team or you have a personal logo in addition to the KW one, you can put that in the team logo spot. You noticed on my screen here, it's up at the top on my website. Then we have my details. This includes the bio section. You'll notice that some of these subsections here will have red asterisks. That means it is a must. You have to have that information filled out to be able to save your profile and move on. So we have preferences. If you want to enable any of these options for your site, you can. Service areas. This is something that you may want to spend some time customizing after class, but this highlights where you want to tell people that you work. You'll notice I have a yellow one with a star. That's my favorited area. That is going to be the primary one that shows up on my website. So let me show you where that shows up. We all have an about section on our website. See how mine says Lombard, Illinois, right in the middle here? That's because my service area, my primary one is Lombard, Illinois. So this, your favorite areas, the very first one that's yellow is the one that will populate right here on your about section. Now, you don't have to know all of these areas by heart. You can look at, there's so many options we can get into here. But you can go to edit and then open a map view at the bottom left, and you can actually draw circles. I don't want to clear mine out, but you would have that option to clear it out and draw like a polygon or a circle, and it will highlight everything you drew, and then you can see everything that was within those boundaries, and you can uncheck anything you don't want to have featured as a service area for you. Like I said, I don't want to change mine, so I'm not going to hit that reset button. If you do want to update what's in yours, go ahead and hit that reset button, draw your circle on the map, and then just hit save when you're all done. You can drag and drop things from here to add to your favorite areas, but like I said, whichever one is first is going to be the one that shows up on your about section here. Okay, so that was service areas. Legal footer and compliance. For my office, we don't have anything additional we need to put here. If there's something that your managing broker wants you to have, this is the section you can upload that to or copy and paste text into. KW does have a lot of that legal stuff for us. So most of us don't need that legal footer section, but just know it is available if you need something special for your office. Under legal footer, we have social, so you can put in all your links for social media for people to be able to find you on other platforms. Referral links. So if you have not already used the consumer app on your phone, we have a search app that's white with a red KW. And that is something that you give to your clients to be able to search properties just like they would on the website. But this is your link if you want to share your custom link with your agent information already programmed into the app for when you share it out. If you are on a team, you will also have this team section. If you are not on a team, you will not see this, so don't worry about that. If you are on a team, you'll see you have team website URL, team app URL, and team member app URL. So if you are on a team, you do have general team links, and you have a link that's customized to you. So if that's something that you guys are using for lead generation and you want any lead that, let's see, I know Aaron was on earlier, I think he's still on. Let's say Aaron's on a team and he wants to make sure that any leads he feeds through his app come to him instead of other team members. That's what this last link is for. So you would share that last one if you're on a team. All right. Below that, we have forced registration. Now, what does this mean? This means when you, or a client, I suppose, not you, when a client is on your website and they're looking for properties, how many properties can they click on before the website forces them to register for an account on your website? So we have a few options there. Unrestricted means they will never be forced to sign up for an account with you. Then we have 10 properties, 2 properties, or no property viewing at all. So no property viewing means they cannot search anything without creating an account with you. 2 properties means they can look at 2 and then it will prompt them to create an account. 10 properties, it will let them look at 10 before prompting them to create an account. I think Aaron had a question. Did I answer it already?
Yeah. No, but I didn't know when you was gonna catch up, so I didn't want to forget. But um, so I'm the only one on my team that uses the KW site.
Okay.
But I'm on here now, and there's no team links or anything like that. But I'm like my team. We use Brivity on the
Okay.
team, but I use the command and
The
KW
command
and all
stuff.
that stuff.
So my
Yeah.
guess is
So
that the team hasn't set up their team marketing profile, so there is no team website. It's just your personal website. So if they
okay.
never set up the team account, then you wouldn't see this bar either because you only have your personal one available to you.
So and I guess my follow up question with that is so when I update my website, um, that's outside. I'm not messing with any of the team website. It was just my
No. Yeah,
website.
good
Okay.
question. And I'll show you something when we get into the editor. I can show you something else to look out for too. So good question on that. Any questions on that forced registration before we move on to the last piece in the marketing profile? Doesn't look like it. Okay. I would just like to say that I've heard agents go either way on this. Some people say they want to put these restrictions on because they think if clients are willing to give me their information, they're probably more likely to be closer to transaction. And those are the types of leads I want coming in. And there's nothing wrong with that. Other people say they want to leave it unrestricted because they want everybody to always come to their website to use it as a resource, whether or not they are setting up an account. I can tell you the benefit of having them set up that account is that when they create the website, like a registration through your website, let me see, let me switch this really quick. They will automatically be created as a contact in your account. Where my smart view go? Here we go. And you will then be able to see all the activity that they're doing. So this also is true for the app. If they create an account on the app, that same account is their website account. If they create it on the website, it's the same login for the app. But you can see, this is me, that I was looking at these specific properties. It tells me exactly what listings, right? So if they have, or I created a saved search this time right here. So if they create an account, you have access to see what it is they're doing and looking at, which could help you have stronger conversations with them. So I understand why people put a limit on properties that they can see without creating an account. However, having it unrestricted, like I said, puts no limits on it. So people can always come check out your website and think of you as a local resource to be able to do stuff like that. So that's totally a personal preference on how you want to do that. The last thing in this marketing profile is your subdomain. So what is that? All of our websites, let me show you up here. We're going to look up at the top left here of my computer screen, our URL. They all end in .kw.com. We have the chance to claim what we want in front of that. So this subdomain is what's in front of .kw.com in your website. You should already have something there. You can change it if you want to. You would have to hit this, put in the information you want in that bar, and then come to the bottom right and click Claim Subdomain. It will tell you if it's available or not. If for some reason you want to totally get rid of your site, you can do deactivate. That will wipe everything. There is no way to come bring it back. You can create a new one from scratch, but you cannot reactivate a deactivated website. Okay? All right, so those are all of our settings. Questions about that profile? Okay, make sure you hit save. If you've missed something that has a red asterisk, like what is it? My details section, like this bio here, it will not let you save until you go in and fill all of that stuff out. You can always come back here and edit this information in the future as well. All right. Brian, is there an entry point in the neighborhood nurture? Can you elaborate on that, Brian?
As far as like your website,
Uh-huh.
can people access your website from the neighborhood nurture?
Oh, Yes, because there should be in your footer. I'd have to pull one up to double check, but I'm pretty sure in the neighborhood nurture email that goes out, there should be contact information in there, including your website link. I'd have to
Okay.
double check it, but I think that's in there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And then Martha, I saw how can our logo show a bit bigger? You would just need to make sure you're using a bigger file when you're uploading that to this My Photo section. You can see that there are recommended formats and sizes in here. I do recommend a square. You can see this is saying 360 by 360 and it can't be larger than 1 MB. It will allow you to do crop images in there as well. So if you have a rectangular logo, you can, so pretend mine's already square, but I could like zoom in and out to get the right part of what I wanted to highlight in here. So you can play with that. Maybe I don't want this whole all the white space, although mine's already square, so it's hard to show you how it would work with a rectangle, but you can also, I'm not going to save that because I don't actually want to edit my image. But you can also do some of this like rotating if it popped in the wrong direction or something. So that's a little bit. Sometimes you can play with that stuff in Canva as well. If you're not liking how it looks right here, you can edit it on a third party platform and then come bring it back in here. All right, so what is next? I'm going to go back to that main website screen. I see a question came in. Oh, so a screen froze. All right, so this is actually great. We're on the right page. So Claudia, when you come into command, you're going to go to websites at the bottom icon, and then on the top right of that website page, there's manage settings, and that's how you can get to where we just were. I mentioned some resources for training. You can also see that there's answers articles right here, and this will take you specifically to more website information to help you kind of narrow down that because answers.kw.com has a plethora of resources for you. So this will be specifically about websites. And the next thing we want to do is come over here and look at manage website. So just to the right of manage website, we have launch. So that's going to open it up so we can see what it is, how it looks. And then if you wanted to copy your link to paste somewhere else, that's what this little C button is. So you can see it says, let me click it one more time. Oh, I gotta click something else first. Oh, it's already copied to my clipboard. 1 second. Let's do, I'm gonna copy that. All right. So when I click this C button, look at the bottom right-hand corner of my screen, and it says website link is copied when you're ready to share. So that's already saved to the clipboard on my computer now. I don't have to like highlight anything to get that link. Now, how do we customize it? This is the fun stuff. We're gonna go ahead and hit that manage website button, and everything we're going to do today is going to be on this main screen. I mentioned that we do have expert mode options. That's what this button is up here on the top right. We're not going to go into that today in depth. Erin, I want to show you really quick. If you click that expert mode button, if you have access to multiple websites, so teams or leadership, there will be a button right here and it will show you all the websites you have access to. So Erin, if you don't see a team listed there, the team hasn't set up their website yet. So you know you're not editing theirs. I'm going to close out of that one because that's our expert mode. We're going to do that at a different time. And then let's see. Okay, so we are in our editor and it's defaulting us to show our homepage and all the different things we can do there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on homepage. And you can see it says, what do we want? It doesn't say what, but like these are all of our options of what we want to update. So homepage layout. So here's the search is right at the top. I can come in here and I can see some different options for how I want my layout to look. So you can select which one. I'm on the first one. You can preview it to see what that would look like. Preview hero. So choose what layout you like the most. You can always come back in and edit these later. So I'm just going to hit
Hey,
that
Amy,
first one. Oh, yep.
mine is giving me a something went wrong, try again later message.
Oh. Have you cleared your cookies on your computer? And are you
No,
on
but
Chrome?
I'm on Chrome, yes.
Okay.
And no, I have not cleared my cookies, but I'll give that a go.
And then make sure your Chrome is updated as well.
Okay.
Start with that. Okay, so that was part of the homepage. That was the search, the layouts for the search. Then we also have different sections here. I mentioned that we could change the photos here. So our banner is where we can do that. I can change the text in the middle here. Find your dream home. I could change the image to a video if I have a video I want to play in that head section of my website. Let's see here. I'm going to put this back to how I had it. And right here is where I can upload those images or videos. So I can upload an image. I would have to have the actual photo I want in there. There should be 3 to 5 in there already for you that are some KW stock images. If you have your photos on your computer right now, you can hit that browse button and it will take you to your computer and you can upload whatever file you want to that part of your website. Again, you can always come back and customize this more later. If you are doing a video, it does want you to provide a link. And you can choose from YouTube or Vimeo, or there is an upload option. It's defaulted to provide a link though. Okay. Then you see we have our content here, the search bar. So mine is defaulted. I use the default. I want the search bar here versus a custom button or no search bar. So you can play around with what those look like. I think most people use that search bar. That's why people come to the website. They want to look at properties, so let's make it easy for them. You do have the option to hide. It's kind of little on my screen. Can I zoom in here? You see where it says buy or rent here? If you don't want it to say rent and you only want it to say buy, you can toggle this hide rent button on. So once you've made all the edits you want on your home screen or on this banner, you can go back. And then we also have featured properties, testimonials, and blog articles. So remember on my website, I kind of showed you what those were. I purposely have some not great looking ones here just so you know what to avoid. So featured properties, you can see you can customize what it says. So maybe you don't want it to say hot listings. Maybe you want it to say listings in Lombard, or 3 beds, 2 baths in Lombard, or my listings, or whatever you want it to say. Available now. You can change that here, and there's a little description that you can put under that, kind of like a subtitle. From there, we can customize what listings are feeding in here. So I have mine with the center point of Lombard, and I only have it searching 3 miles outside of Lombard, and I have a price range of 200 to 950,000. So if you want to customize any of that for you, you absolutely can. And it will change what's showing in this featured listing section. So that's up to you. In expert mode, you can actually dial that down more. It kind of mimics the searches on the MLS, not quite as elaborate, not as many options there, but you can get into more specifics of like beds and baths and stuff like that. But to have websites with featured properties, I don't think you want to narrow it down too much because you want people to be able to see what's out there. So you can customize that featured property section here. Then we have testimonials. So what do you want that section to be called, and do you want a description there? These testimonials will feed in from testimonies that you have received through this. Under more, you should have a leave a review button on your website, and that's where you'll get the option to feature those testimonials on your homepage. The last thing on here is blog articles. So there are 4 articles that are already created for you from KW. So what do you want to call that area? Mine says take it from our experts. And it's a 4-part series for first-time homebuyers. So maybe you want to say first-time homebuyers guide. You could call it that. You can add a description if you want to. If there's anything on the home screen that we covered that you don't actually want to show on your home screen, you can hit this little eyeball and now it's hidden. So when we publish it, so now it's refreshing. See, now that blog section is gone. It's no longer showing on my home screen. So if there's anything you want to hide, you can do that. All right. As we're going through, when you want to make things live, just go ahead and hit that publish button up in the top right-hand corner, and that will publish your changes for you. Any questions about the home page? This is everything about that main home screen when you go into your website.
I
Brian,
got a question.
silent video. I do think it is silent. I don't know. I've never tested it. That's a good question. Go ahead, Aaron. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was cutting you off. Is it publishing automatically as you're making those changes? I kept seeing on your screen that it kept saying publish successfully, but I didn't see where you actually hit save anywhere.
So I usually just hit this publish button at the top right. And then it goes out. See right here, page published successfully.
Okay, got you. Yeah. Your video's covering that button. That's why I didn't see
Oh,
you.
okay. All right, let me hit publish up at the top right. I just changed this to say test in the headline. And so on this screen that we're on, we can see the updates we're making, but I could go to my website and hit refresh and see that reflected as well. But I don't want to have to leave if I don't have to. So I'll go ahead and paste my messaging back in there, go to the top right, hit publish, and then the screen should refresh and I'll be able to see that on my preview here that it updated. So you don't actually have to leave the editor, which is super nice. One other thing I can point out on here is that we are on the desktop view. Up at the top, you can toggle between to see how does that look on a tablet and how is that going to look on mobile as well. So you do want to make sure that everything looks nice on mobile because a lot of people look at things on their phone more than on their computer. Okay, let's go back. So that was the home page. On the left-hand side of that word homepage, there's kind of a little artist palette, and that is our design studio. So remember on homepage, we did have the option to customize how our search screen looked. We also have the option under Design Studio, the little artist palette, to customize some colors and fonts on our website. So if you noticed, mine has these really big listing pictures, and it's got a white banner at the top and this very clean font here. So I actually have the option I can select or preview. So this is the one I'm on. I am on the second, if you liked mine, I'm on the modern design, but I can come in here and edit and I still have additional options. So I have lots of color themes I can choose from. Let's do mint dark. And I have different fonts I can choose from. All right, I don't see any questions. Let me reopen the chat here. Okay. Okay. Let's go back a screen. Go back to manage websites. And the other things we have on here, so we talked about everything on the home page. You'll notice that I have some other page options on here because these are things I've already added. You probably don't see these things, and that's okay. I told you that there are 4 pages that we can add in just a few clicks, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. So what those 4 pages are the mortgage calculator, so it will look like this. So that's a great tool for your buyers. We also have the home value tool. So this is really good for sellers. Oh, and you can see my colors and everything I've updated. Now I have that mint at the top. I chose a different font and my corners are a little different. So you guys see that just took a couple minutes to update everything. For your sellers, this Ready to Discover Your Home's Value or the Home Value tool is great. They can actually put their address in here and you will get a notification that they were looking to understand their home equity a little bit. So that could be a great conversation piece for you. So then we have let's see, under about why KW. So why would somebody want to work with an agent who is aligned with KW? So this page is all built out for you already as well. And then the last one is the app, and I can't remember if I actually have that on my website. Let's see. Nope, I haven't. I must not have turned that one on. That's okay. So I'll make that go live now. So how you can add those 4 pages is just to the left under this big blue page button, there's a little plus sign that says add content. Oh, nope, I lied. It is the big blue one. You can also do blog posts. Sometimes I mix those two up. So when you hit your pages, again, I have a lot on here already. You won't have to really scroll down. There should be a button at the bottom that says create page. So we should all have that home page button. And then if you scroll down, there's this create page button. You might not have to scroll. Go ahead and hit create page. And these are the 4 options we have to add to our website. So click 1, create page. Click 2, you'll hit select template on the one you want to add. So this is the download app one, select template. Click 3, create page on the bottom right of that pop-up window. And then you have the opportunity to rename it if you would like to. Where it says page title is actually how it's going to appear in your drop-down under more. So do you want it to say download my app instead of download the app? Right? Whoops, I missed a letter there. Download my app. Oh, I do have it on my website. I just looked at the wrong spot. Maybe you want it to say my KW app, my search app, Let's Go Mobile, whatever you want it to say. You can customize that there. I lost my click count. Were we at 4 clicks so far? 5 clicks maybe? Publish is the last one. So we can go ahead and hit publish. In the top right corner there, we'll see in the bottom right that it was published successfully. And sometimes it takes a couple minutes to show on your site, but when you do go live, you can refresh that page and it should show up under that more button for you. For me, because I have that advanced navigation bar at the top, I have extra work to do to make it go live, but for you, it should show right up under that more section automatically. Questions on adding those? It's the exact same steps for those 4 easy pages. Okay. Cherie said my page is forcing me to expert mode. I think I'd have to take a look to see what's going on there, depending on what you are doing. If you're not using one of these 4 options, everything else happens through expert mode. So you could also do this plus sign here. This should not force you to expert mode either for the blog post. If you wanted to create your own blog post, that's what this plus button is. All right, what else do we have? Martha, how can we get our listings on? So the listings will automatically pull in from the MLS. If you're an agent that has a lot of listings, let me go back to this screen really quick. Give me 1 second. How do we get our listings on? We want to go to homepage. Well, that was weird. There we go. Featured properties. So you can't choose specific properties here, but this section from the basic editor will pull in all the listings from the MLS that you can choose a center point, choose your mile radius from that, and give it a price range if you want to. If you want to do more specifics, then you have to go into expert mode to do that, or if you want to feature only your listings versus all the MLS listings. So that's an option in expert mode to customize that further. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. So these are all the basic editing tools. I told you I would show you how you could do an open house sign-in sheet from your website as well. So that's a super easy few click option for you. So when you're on your website, This doesn't matter if you've customized anything or not. You can go on your website and you can either type in an address or a town, or you can just come to property search on that drop-down option and select the property that you want to do the open house at. So let's say I'm doing an open house at this 572 Glendale property. I'm going to click that property to open up the listing. And you can see I got this notification. I have one more listing because I'm not currently logged in. And I had mine set up for 10 properties I could look at. So that's what we were talking about before with the restricting how many properties could be looked at. So it doesn't matter if you're logged into an account or not. Just pull up the property that you're doing the open house at and then come up to the URL. And we're going to add /openhouse. No space. Just add the word /openhouse. And it will take a second. You can see it's reloading here in the corner. And now I have a sign-in sheet for my open house. So I could save this link and make it a QR code and put a flyer out that people scan the QR code and this would pull up on their phone. I could have a tablet or a laptop open with this page up and people can just enter their information here and they'll automatically go into my command account as a contact so I can follow up with them later. But like, how easy was that? Just add /openhouse to whatever property it is you want to do an open house at. All right, perfect. So those are my hot tips for you today. I'll go ahead and present this again. So we talked about how to update our profile, pick our themes, customize that homepage, add those 4 easy add custom pages, and even how to review that open house sign-in sheet, how to create that. As a reminder, we have these resources for you. So if you didn't get a chance to scan these earlier, you can do that now. I will repost them in the chat as well. Okay. There's one. And here's the other one. The third one, this guy at the bottom right, is just inside command for you at the top. It'll say quick, KWUIQ, and it'll have those blue little stars. So my questions for you, feel free to come off mute. What do we learn today? What are you going to do? We got 1 week left in the month. What are you going to put into action by the end of the month that you learned today? Oh, Cherie said using open houses, they go straight to our command and tag. Yes, they do get tagged as well. You have the option to do some higher level follow-up with that too if you want to. What else is an aha for you today? Did you learn something new? I saw a couple people said at the beginning that they hadn't really looked at their websites yet, so I hope you guys learned something new. What's your favorite thing? This is the participation part. I see people giggling. Brian said personalizing my photos. Yes, I love that you can do that. Can really give it a nice touch with that. Anything else that you would want to put into action today?
The open house, that was a game changer because sometimes if I forget my my folder or my QR code, if I can just use that, that makes life so much easier for it to go straight into command.
Yes. I love that feature. It's so easy to set up really quick as well.
Can you show us that one more time?
Sure. Let me just escape out of here. Maybe. There we go. On your website, you will just go to the property that you're doing an open house at. So remember, this has to be an active property. You can search for a specific listing. Here, whatever this one is that looks like I looked at before. We'll click on this Jackson one. And once you are in it, you've found your listing. You're going to come up to the link at the top. You're going to go all the way over to the right. You're going to add a slash and then the words open house with no spaces and hit enter. That's it. Ta-da! pretty easy. Yes, open house, no spaces. Okay.
So now, Amy, once they sign in that open house sign-in sheet, where does
Mhm.
it save? Where does it save it? Does it save
They
it in
will
a?
become a contact in your contacts in Command. Yep. Now, there are some advanced features. You can set up automatic follow-up plans with them. You'd have to build the plan first, but you can do some lead management is what it's called. There's a tool called lead management. So you can say anything that comes in from this form, please tag it with this, please put this as the lead source, please automatically apply this smart plan to it, and it can do follow-up based on that smart plan you've already created. It's a whole different class, but that is an option. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you contact your local leadership and they can help teach you how to do that. And then my favor that I'm going to request of you guys today is if you could just take a couple minutes and go ahead and scan my feedback survey here. It's going to ask you what class you took, and it's just called Basic Website Setup, I think. If you could just let me know what you learned today. It will ask you if you are okay with me sharing your feedback as a testimony. So if you check yes to that, you might get featured in our newsletter or in our Mid-American group on Facebook. So please give that a scan. And I'm going to change the screen in just a second here. I promised you some additional resources and how to find my YouTube channel. Right here is that YouTube channel, youtube.com/the social stack. And this is our tech hub for the region of all kinds of tech resources if you want to scan that. But that's all I've got for you today. Thank you all for
I have
being
a
here. Oh, go ahead.
quick, I have a quick question on the website. I
Sure.
noticed so most of the time we're on the phone looking and scrolling and all that, but it
Mm-hmm.
says scan to download my app. Is there a way to have that as a hyperlink as well, to where they can click to download that?
Let me check.
You know what I'm asking?
Yeah, I think we're on. Oops, let me go back a screen here. You are here, right?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if there's a way to do it from the website. However, give me a second. We're gonna see if I can. I don't think I'm logged in. I was gonna try to zoom in from my phone, but I don't think I'm registered on my phone. Let's see here. Yeah, all right. On your phone, when you're using the consumer app, oh, it doesn't even show it here. There's two things you can do. When you're in, we have two apps. One is the Command mobile app. So it's the red square with the white KW. If you're in there, when you go to contacts, so it looks like the same little icon that we see in Command, but at the bottom of your screen. I mean, yes, it'll be the bottom of your website or your app, excuse me. You'll see this little icon. And if you hit that, there's three little, like a meatball menu at the top right. Sorry, I missed a step. I did it on my phone, but I didn't verbalize it. Click the contact you want and then hit the three little meatball option. And there's an option that says save contact, change account, edit. There's one that says share my KW app link. So you can share it from there. Also in the consumer app, so that's the white app with the red KW that your clients would typically have, they have the option to share the app with their friends as well. So there's little prompts that come with those. And the one, when you share it from the red app, it'll say, hey, here's my app, blah, 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 blah. When it's from the white app, it'll say, check out Aaron's app because it's supposed to be coming like from a friend to a friend, right? So those are different ways you can share it as well. The other thing is here back in settings, when we were on the subdomain section. Nope, I lied. The referral link section. This is your app link, so you can hit copy here and then you can get it through the computer to share with somebody as well. So I suppose if you wanted a clickable link on the website, I don't know that there would be a way to do it on this page. However, if you're in expert mode, you can make a custom page, or we could probably add something underneath this that has a link that they could click on as well. I've never actually, yeah, I guess you can't, because I guess if you're on the computer, it wouldn't work, but if you're on mobile, you would think it would
Right.
be like that. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I totally get where you're coming from. I think we should suggest that to KW. It's a great idea. Thanks for the question. All right. Well, then I'm going to give you guys one more opportunity to scan my feedback form if you haven't already. I'd love to hear from you, see what we can do to improve the class for the future, because I use this as a guide for the other tech trainers in the region to be able to use as well. And I will see you in a couple weeks. So my next class is February 10th, which is a Tuesday again at the same time. We will be going over some plug and play resources for you to stay top of mind with your clients. So it will be a workshop again. We have a home equity drip plan, and then we also have a marketing kind of like a newsletter that comes out every month from the region. So we will be talking about how you can use those to stay in front of your clients every month with some items of value. So I guess I will see you then. And
One more question. I'm so sorry.
yes.
So I'm still having like technical